Welcome to the October 9th, 2020 video version of the Wagner Daily. My name is Rick Petticelli, and as usual, once a week, this video replaces the written commentary portion of our report. Hopefully it serves as a nice change of pace, as well as offer some insight as to how we set up our charts, what time frames and indicators we use. First, we're going to run through a few broad market averages, then we'll cover open positions in the model portfolio, and finally we'll take a look at a few setups that could potentially be in play during the next few days. First up is Ffty. This is the IBD Ffty ETF. And the reason why we're showing you this ETF is because it's a growth stock ETF, and that's what we do. We mainly hunt for growth stocks in here, and it's showing pretty good relative strength, extending beyond the 50 and the 20-day moving averages. The S&P lagging, but still pushing higher. And then we have the Nasdaq Composite, which is lagging right now, not extending much beyond the 20 and the 50-day MAs. Next up is the S&P 400, which is breaking out to new highs. And this type of relative strength we haven't seen in quite some time. And IWM breaking out to above base highs as well. So small and mid-cap stocks leading the way. And growth is also outperforming. It's just large cap growth. The Nasdaq 100 leadership stocks, the FANG, that are struggling a bit right now. On to current open positions. We have SQ, which we purchased around 170 on the breakout. And it's up about 7%. We like the price action here. Nothing to do right now. We're holding on for a 20% gain. Same pretty much goes for SC, which we're long from a 160.65 average price. Nothing to do here. We're just looking for the price to continue to hold above the rising 9-day MA. PINS, we're up about 13% from our entry, around 38. Nothing to do. Twilio, we're up about 5% from our entry on 10.6. Just moved out and consolidated on lighter volume yesterday. Tesla, we just entered on Thursday on a pullback after the gap up. Not the close we were looking for. Volume was a bit lighter than the prior day, so that's a bright spot. And well, it is coming into support of the 10 and the 20-day moving averages here. So we'll have to see if it can hold up. NET, we're long from 40, just below 41, so it's about a 6% gain. And nothing to do here. We're just waiting for the price action to eventually get going. It's wedged higher for a few weeks here, but we'll continue to hold as long as it remains above the 9-day or 10-day MA. But realistically, we'll probably use the 20-day EMA to close out the position because it shouldn't dip back below that average. TDOC, we're long from around 222, so we believe the chart looks pretty good. The weekly looks nice. It just has yet to go. And maybe the stock needs a bit of a shakeout down to the 20-day EMA. CRWD, we're basically break even after Thursday's pullback. Overall, though, looks pretty good. Has support from the rising 10-day moving average here. DDOG, we're long from an average price of 98.61, and we have a 6% gain. And that was a pretty explosive move out, and it's just digesting the advance right now. Volume's pretty light, so we're okay with the price and volume action. But at some point, expect the price action to move higher. Etsy, we just purchased on Thursday on a pullback to the breakout point. The high of the cup here at 141.60. It was a partial entry basically for a third of a position, and we'll look to add to the position as it pulls back into support and if it holds above the 134 to 136 area. And the last stock is FSLY, which we're long from about 93.70 average price. It's up about 20% and looking pretty good. It just needs to digest this monster advance on Wednesday, so it may need a week or two of chop before moving higher. As for stocks on our watch lists, what we're currently looking at, Shop has formed a 6-week cup. It's about 27%, 26% in depth. No handle here, but we haven't seen many handles as of late. A lot of stocks are just running up to the prior high and moving out. We look for a pullback to the 9-day EMA or 10 as a lower risk buy entry, looking for the price to hold above the 10 on a closing basis. And if one can't establish a lower entry point, then the highs of the base would serve as the entry. W looking pretty good. Little cup here. And is forming a bit of a handle. So entries would be over the 3-day high, around 313. Add on the way up, and then possibly add over the handle high, around 326. NVDA looks like it's forming a handle here. Only 2 days into the handle. But if it continues to chop around, look for a move back through this 566 area as an entry. If Tesla can hold above the 20-day EMA, then it could be in play with a move back through yesterday's high, Thursday's high, and then you can add some more size over 450, which would put the price above the high of 10.1. VEEV is interesting as well. VEEV is basically a flat base here. Looks like it could be in play with a move over the 3-day high. And from this point, we look for immediate fall through to the upside to new highs. JD is sitting in a tight range above the 20-day moving average, could be in play on a breakout above 80. And Snap is pretty interesting too, as it was a breakout from a cup with no handle pattern, and then the price has pulled back to the highs of the pattern and has tightened up. So an entry could be placed above the 2-bar high there. All right, that's a wrap for tonight's video. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again next week. Have a good one.